Hey y'all, Z from Easy here. Welcome back to Easy's community channel. Before we get started, I wanted to quickly pop in.
We've got keys!
Speaking of popping in, where was I? Oh yeah, wanted to pop in and let you know that the highly anticipated PlayStation VR2 release of Zenith is just around the corner. And we're not just talking about any old release. This one is extra special. Why don't you take it away, Flashy?
Not only do you get to experience Zenith in a whole new way, but pre-ordering your PSVR2 copy now comes with an added bonus. The one, the only, the cold but cuddly Mecha Dingbo pet!
If you, like myself, love Dingbo, don't miss your chance to get an awesome mecha version of your own in this PSVR2 pre-order exclusive.
The release date is set for February 22nd, so what are you waiting for? Head over to the pre-order page by clicking the link in the description below. Also, in the description you can find a link to the United Zenithian Alliance's Discord server where we'll be giving out 20 pre-order keys that include the Mecha Dingbo for the PSVR2 version of the game over the next few weeks after this video is released. We will also be giving out 20 additional regular PSVR2 keys randomly through the UZ8 Discord and on my streams, so head on over there for a chance to get one of these copies for yourself.
If you don't have Discord, but would still like to enter, leave a comment on this video before February 20th, letting us know what your favorite part was, and we'll pick additional lucky winners from the comment section to get a copy as well. These copies are only available for players from the US or EU, so please be sure to include the appropriate region in your comment so you're entered for the correct version. Now, on to the video.
Take it away, Ali!
Hi everyone, this is Ali from EZ, and today I'm here with Zane to show you 20 tips and tricks that beginners should know in Zenith: The Last City. A key piece of player-to-player interaction in Zenith is the player menu. To open the player interaction menu, simply point at another player's character with your dominant hand and hold that position for a few seconds. This will open a pop-up menu showing the selected player's username and will give you the option to add that player as a friend, invite that player to a party, or close the menu. In the rare case that you come across someone who is rude, annoying, or breaking the rules of the game, clicking the avoid button below the cancel button in the player menu gives you the option to mute, block, or report the offending player. When you first load into Zenith, the default positions of your weapons and quick slots are great for learning what everything does, but having the quick slots directly next to your weapon slots means that you end up grabbing your cookies as often as your swords. To fix this, you can use the Edit Equipment Slots button below your character on the main inventory screen to move your quick slots to a less grabbable place. This menu also lets you toggle your weapons orientation in the holsters and move your weapon slots so they're more accessible when playing sitting down, or just for added cool factor. As you play through Zenith, you'll end up getting a lot of extra gear as drops from defeated enemies, which is an easy way to level up your outfit. This means though that you end up with extra gear that you no longer have use for. There are a couple of ways to clear these pieces from your inventory besides selling the items at the store. The red X at the very bottom right of your inventory is the delete option. Dragging an item over this symbol will let you permanently delete the item from your inventory with nothing in return. The other option is to drag the piece of gear you want to get rid of over the red dust pile in the corner next to the delete option. Dusting gear will delete the item, but give you back enhancement dust of the matching quality, which is extremely useful later on as enhancing lets you add extra perks to higher quality gear. Items in Zenith fall into one of three separate types: general items, quest-specific items, and cosmetic items. Each category has its own separate inventory, so if you're trying to find an item to complete a quest, or you're trying to see what you have available for character cosmetics but you can't find what you're looking for, make sure you're checking the right inventory tab. If you ever find yourself stuck on a quest, remember to check your active quests in the quest journal found in your main menu. The journal is where you can read more details about the quest itself, toggle its visibility in the quest list in your HUD, and also where you can abandon a quest in order to restart the mission if it's bugged for any reason. With the 1.2 major update, creature capture was introduced as a way to get pets for your characters. The part that most people miss, though, is that the Agent Rank Codex gives you a way to jumpstart your creature capturing without having to rely on purchased orbs or a daily quest from Blake to get started. Simply open your Codex, make sure you're in the normal Agent Rank panel, and click on Guide to the left of the Codex. Scroll until you see the Creature Capture quest, Step 1, and then click on that quest to activate it. Once the quest has a green outline in the Codex, it is now active, and a yellow circle will appear around Blake in the Fractured Plains. Entering that circle gives you a nice little starter pack of orbs to kickstart your creature catching obsession. Occasionally, Zenith will add a limited time codex to the game which can be found in the same place as the Agent Rank Codex. To swap between codices, click the button for the codex that you want at the left of the menu, and you'll open the selected codex. Every time you level up in your codex, you gain access to a special reward for that level. To claim your reward, either click on the progress bar in your codex, or click the Rewards tab at the bottom of the menu. Scroll until you see your active rewards, grab the item, and make a fist with your hand by holding the trigger until the orb explodes, adding your reward directly to your inventory. One question that gets asked a lot is there a way for me to talk to my friends from across the map? The answer to that question is yes. Zenith has up to 3 different voice channels that you can choose from, which each serve different functions. When you open your audio settings menu, you'll see that by default you are connected to the global voice channel, which is a spatial audio channel for everyone in the nearby vicinity. If you're in a party, you'll see a second audio channel labeled Party, and this is a radio channel that can be accessed by party members only, and allows for clear communication regardless of your location in the world. Finally, if you're in a guild, you'll see a third guild option, which anyone in your guild can access regardless of party membership. Guild chat also works across shards. To switch between voice channels, simply click on the option you want and give it a few seconds to swap channels. You'll see the channel number change when your connection is successful. If at any time you're in the right voice channel, but you can't hear anyone, you can double-check your connection to the voice channel by selecting the Advanced Settings cog in the Audio Settings menu, and check the Channel Status panel to the right of that menu. If the channel status shows disconnected, you can refresh your connection by clicking the Refresh VC button below the connection panel. Give the system a few seconds to reconnect, and once the channel status switches back to connected, you should be able to hear everyone properly. While this works for the vast majority of cases, if the status never switches back to connected even after multiple refreshes and waiting for 30 seconds or more after clicking the refresh button, you may need to restart your game. One quirk of the Zenith voice system is that the default for the voice volume slider is at the absolute max. This causes everyone's audio to sound blown out and crackly. To fix this, simply lower the voice volume slider to 75 to 80% of full, and everyone starts sounding normal again. An important thing to note is that this setting is not saved properly between logins, so after each time you log into the game, make sure to go into your audio settings and wiggle the slider position to reset the volume to the proper level. Here's a bit of a bonus tip. The same issue with a slider setting not persisting through a reload also happens with the grass slider on PCVR platforms. Again, a quick wiggle of the slider drops the value back down to your selected setting. When you load into Zenith, your headset microphone will automatically connect and default to being unmuted. Many new players won't realize this or have difficulty finding the mute button. To mute your microphone, open your menu, and at the very bottom of the menu in the center, there will be 2 circular icons. The one on the left will toggle your microphone on and off, and the one on the right is the deafen button, which will mute other players' voices. It's important to note that when you're deafened, even though you can't hear anyone else, they can still hear you. So as a good rule of thumb, make sure to always hit the mute button when you go to deafen. Above players' heads, 2 different icons will display if that person has deafened or muted themselves. If both the deafen and mute symbols appear enclosed by a red outline, this means the player is in a different voice channel and won't be able to hear you. Regardless of your actual height or whether you play sitting or standing, your point of view of your character should always be in the same place. If you swap from seated to standing, or just find yourself higher or lower than you expect with your character's feet off the ground or your knees bent too far, Zenith gives you a way to quickly reset your position back to normal. To recenter your view, open your menu and go into the comfort settings. To the bottom right of the main panel, you'll see a large button that says Recenter. Settle yourself into a comfortable playing position, then click the Recenter button, and wait in that position with the menu open for a few seconds until the countdown in the center finishes and your position resets. One of the greatest things about the Zenith locomotion system is the player's ability to glide even as a brand new character. But what you may not know is that Zenith actually has 4 different glide modes to choose from. You can find the glide mode settings towards the bottom of the main panel under your comfort settings in your menu. Basic Glide is the simplest to control, but also has the most limited aerobatic capabilities. In Basic Glide, your character is locked to a set altitude, and you will glide forward at a constant speed while slowly descending. Turning midair in Basic Mode uses the same controls as on the ground, and that's all there is to it. Sensitive Glide Mode adds the ability to change your altitude and speed while mid-glide. In Sensitive Mode, tipping your thumbs towards the ground will speed up your glide, but it will also lower your altitude. Tipping your thumbs up will do the reverse and slow you down while increasing your altitude. Master these 2 motions and you can swoop from one height to another or even hover in place. Again, turning in Sensitive Mode uses the same controls as turning on the ground. Strafe Mode is the same as Sensitive, but it adds the ability to strafe side to side while mid-glide, giving the mode its name. The strafing is controlled by the relative positions of your hands vertically. Raising your right hand while lowering your left will make you strafe left. Raising your left while lowering your right will make you strafe right. All other controls are the same as in Sensitive Mode. Heading Glide Mode is the trickiest to master and probably the most difficult to use for people who suffer from motion sickness. Unlike the other 3 glide modes, your turning and heading mode is controlled by the relative height of your hands, similar to the strafe controls in Strafe Mode. Speed and altitude controls are the same as in Sensitive Glide, and while the main turning control is with your hand position, turning with a joystick is still an option in this mode. While most people play on either Strafe or Sensitive Glide, it's up to you to play around with each and figure out which glide mode best fits your playstyle. One feature that's not widely known about, but that you might have seen mentioned in the loading screen tooltips, is the Focus UI option. Sometimes while traveling the world, you may find yourself needing to access your menu, either if you're stuck in a hole or hiding from your friends, but you can't see it past the environment. Pressing and holding down your menu button will open the menu in Focused Mode, which hides the environment and gives you clear access to your inventory or your map so you can click the closest fast travel and escape. When looking for nearby points of interest, Zenith's minimap is a very handy feature, but most people don't know that there are 2 different ways that you can set it to activate. By default, the minimap is toggled on and off by tapping your left wrist. If that seems cumbersome, you can instead change the minimap to activate only while you're looking at your wrist by selecting the gaze option in the left panel of the comfort settings menu. The best way to get quick ability buffs in Zenith is by eating food. Different food and drink items can give different perks, but to get these items, you first need to actually cook the food. To get started, open your cooking station by going into the Life Skills menu and clicking the Toggle Station button under the Cooking tab. Your available recipes will show on the left, and once a recipe is selected, the instructions will appear next to the station power cells. Additional recipes can be found as chest loot, or by completing the quests given by Brim in the Nexus district. When you're done cooking, you can dismiss your station by clicking the same Toggle Station button, or by clicking the Turn Off Station button located under your recipes. One of the newer features added to Zenith is the ability to play board games with your friends. Summoning the game table works similar to the cooking station and can be toggled on and off under the Games section of your menu. One mechanic of Zenith gameplay that may not be obvious to beginning players is your character's stamina level, which is indicated by the yellow bar under your level in your HUD. When you first start out, you have a limited stamina pool that is drained by activities like gliding, jumping, and sprinting while in combat. You can regain stamina by landing, walking, or by gliding in updrafts, or through the yellow stamina rings that will be provided for certain quests. To increase your stamina pool, you'll need to complete the quests to collect Amara's tears given by the Amara statue in the Fractured Plains. In a world as big as Zenith, you don't want to be stuck walking everywhere. Thankfully, there is a sprint option. To activate your sprint, simply press down on your movement stick while walking in the direction you want to go. As long as you keep moving, your sprint will stay active, but keep in mind that sprinting while in combat will drain your stamina bar. To stop sprinting, either press down on your movement joystick again, or stop walking for a second, then move the joystick forwards again without pressing it down.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Ez and Zealots content, and remember, it's GG Easy with EZ.